What's going on, everybody? Welcome. This is not the show that I was hoping to be doing. You know, I had so much confidence going into yesterday's game. A lot of confidence. And I didn't feel like I was overconfident. Like, I felt like I knew that, you know, Arsenal could give us a good run for our money. It's a North London derby. Like, form goes out the window, all that stuff. But man, it's just, it's a bit embarrassing, I think, the performance that Spurs put in yesterday. And we're going to talk about it. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear what your thoughts were. We got some people that were in the Discord. And in fact, I'm actually going to do what we did last time, a couple weeks ago now, where if you want to jump in on this conversation over the call or the headset, I'm going to jump into the You Tell Me channel. It's the LT3 call. You just got a little red phone on there, and you can check that out. So I'm going to hop in there in probably about maybe 15 or 20 minutes. And I would love to hear your passion, your voice as we talk about all this stuff. So, friends, man, this is where we're at. We're at a place where Spurs can score 15 goals in 5 games and have a couple clean sheets, play really well, and then just poop the bed. You know what I mean? Just poop the bed when it matters. So we're going to get there, but I do want to talk about that amazing rabona. Eric Lamela got me off my chair. I was just jumping and screaming like a crazy person. But let me just say hello to everyone who's here. It's good to see you, James. It's good to see you, Ravenger. And Eunice is back. Ashley, welcome. I really appreciate having all of you on here and chatting, even after a tough defeat. You know, it's not easy to be coming in here chatting about all that stuff when we're just facing another defeat. So, per usual, let me just throw this in here. I would love you to just throw up your thoughts in the chat. If that's how you want to participate, is through the chat. Let me know what were some of the highlights you felt like, man, that even in the midst of all that, this was awesome. What were your thoughts on the style of play? Who was your man of the match? And I'm going to be calling out some players. I'm actually going to bring up that whole starting 11. When I say starting 11, it's not really the starting 11 because I took Son out of there. I put Lamela in. But I just want to go player by player and have a conversation about what we witnessed, because it was insane. It was just so frustrating. So we'll get to that. So overall, I just want to say we started awful. Just absolutely poor. I felt like the guys were just not ready to play. And even when Sonny, went down with his injury, I mean, up until that point, I just felt like, what am I watching? I don't even know who I'm watching. It doesn't look like Spurs. I saw a stat that said 30 minutes into the game, Harry Kane had 1 touch on the ball. Obviously, Son goes off. And at the time, I could understand why... why Jose had picked Eric Lamela to come on. I saw Dele warming up, and I thought, man, that would be, Dele loves a big match. He's got the heart for a North London derby. But so does Lamela. Lamela's up for it. He's chippy. He's going to be at people's heels, He's just kind of snapping at you. And so I thought, okay, I'm with you. And then he scores a Puskas nominee. For sure. I mean, a rabona through the legs of Partey. Oh my gosh. The emotions of that kind of a goal being scored in a North London derby, it's beautiful. And I saw some amazing, pictures and artwork. Let me show you this. You probably have seen this already. But that picture, that face was my face. That was my face. I was just like, what have I just witnessed? What have I just... The audacity to do a rabona in a game is so disrespectful to Arsenal, which is why I loved it so much. It's like, yes, please do that. And to have it go into the back of the net was even more beautiful. But that was the only shot. It was the only shot on goal. It was so frustrating. And yes, Eunice, too bad our happiness didn't last too long. But let me just enjoy it just for one more moment. I saw some really funny artwork. Here's another one. This is classic. Just a great meme to have. Another one on here that I thought was really good. Sorry for all the transitions. This one. Dude, can you imagine the back of his kit with the 2 1s? It's so awesome. It's so awesome. And it was short-lived. And honestly, it was against the run of play, right? I don't think we deserved that goal. We did not look like we were ready to play. But he got that goal, and I was hoping that would be a bit of the fire. Something would get started, but it just wasn't meant to be. And so, yeah, so those are some fun pictures. And, coming into the game, too, I saw someone... They posted this picture, which is insane. Check this out. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg this season. He's first for completed passes, first for duels won, first for interceptions, first per possession won, and tackles won. Yeah. But he means so much to our team. In fact, I was debating, I've got a couple kits, and I was like, do I wear the Højbjerg kit or do I wear the Tanguy Ndombele kit? And I went with Tanguy. And to be honest, I was disappointed with both of them. It didn't matter. I should have worn them. I don't have a Lamela kit. That would have been awesome. But both of them were extremely disappointing to me. Højbjerg basically watched the ball go past him for them to score their first goal. I don't understand it. I don't understand why he doesn't go after the ball. It reminded me of when Eric Dyer just let that ball go by. So I'm seeing some folks in the chat saying Lamela is our hidden gem. I would agree with you to a point. I think Lamela is he's good for what he offers when he offers it. But when he's injured, and he's never even on the field. But he does have that energy, and I think that's why Jose Mourinho brought him on. Eunice says, Lamela is an amazing player, but it sucks. His career has been plagued with injuries. Yeah, but again, he isn't our solution. I don't think so either. He's definitely not a solution. Like, I was talking with Rob, who's also on the Discord, about the substitutions that Jose made, right? He takes off Gareth Bale. He takes off Tanguy Ndombele. Son has gone off with injury. Those are all of our people that have the dynamic to change a game. And they're all gone. Gareth Bale, gone. Tanguy, gone. And I get it. I know in his post-match press conference that Jose said that, they just didn't have the intensity. They weren't going after the game. And I hold my hands up and say he's correct. I don't know how you felt about that, but I felt like nobody was ready to play. We were all just sitting so far back and just respecting them too much. Like, I'm not trying to say like disrespect them, but at the same time, we are good enough to impose ourselves on Arsenal. I think. I would have thought, but I don't know why. They just didn't seem to want to impose themselves during the game. And it's so frustrating when we have the firepower of Gareth Bale, Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Tanguy Ndombele. We should have dominated, and we let them do their thing to us. Just so frustrating. Eunice saying, don't even get me on Jose. I want this man out of my club now. The manager and so many players need plowing out this summer. Doherty over Aurier. What was he thinking? That is such a great question. And so let me get to that. Let's just pull this up. Here. This was virtually our starting 11. I understand that Lamela is in for Son, and I just put him in there just because I think for the conversation we need to have. Son played 60 minutes, pulled out with a hammy, looks like a hamstring injury, and I have a feeling that's going to be like a 6-weeker. I can't imagine it's shorter than that, which means potentially he comes back for the final of the League Cup or whatever. And maybe he comes back for that. I think it's going to be really tough to see him at full fitness for that anyway. So let's just maybe let's start at the back and work our way up. Starting with Hugo Lloris. I didn't feel like Hugo had a great game. I didn't think he had a poor game. I would have probably given him like a 6 out of 10. He did kind of receive a ball and then kind of fumble it a little bit, and I thought, what is going on with that there? I don't know how much more he could have done on the penalty. We'll get to talking about that. But let's move to Reguilon because I don't want to start on Doherty. Reguilon, I thought, had a decent game. Obviously, he was part of the build-up to Lamela's wonder goal, and I felt like he did his job. Again, didn't really stand out. Might have been like a 6 for me as well. But nobody really stood out. So it's really hard to say. Toby and Sanchez. I had talked about in my pre North London Derby video that I thought the story was going to be about Davinson Sanchez, and I feel like I was proved right. Davinson Sanchez, he had a pretty good run of games, but then here it is in the moment that we need him to keep his head. Gives away a penalty. And I don't know about you if you want to share that in the comments. Like, I felt like it was disappointing that a penalty was given, especially when you consider that the shot had technically already been taken. He just totally whiffed on the volley. But Sanchez just bundles into him. And I think it's a penalty. I think it's a dumb penalty to give, but and maybe again going back to that respect or disrespect thing, I feel like Davinson Sanchez should not respect him enough to think that he can even get a shot on target. He's not that good. He's not worth going after him so hard. I wouldn't expect him to even get a shot on target. He didn't, but by clobbering into him, you give him a penalty, and anybody can put a penalty away. So, just so frustrating. Toby, again, I just didn't feel. I don't know where he was. It just seemed like he was out to lunch. And then Doherty, and then I'll go to your comments. Doherty's been a terrible signing. And there was some decent hype about him. I don't know if hype is the right word, right? But I remember Alistair Gold saying, like, dude, this guy is like second behind Trent Alexander-Arnold, regarding his I don't know if it was his assists or just pinging in balls and stuff like that, but he has been nothing. I don't know how to trust him with anything. I saw a crazy stat that when he and Bale have started together, they've only lost once. Well, yesterday was the second loss, and I would say it's probably because of the competition. They're just not playing against people that are decent competition. I wouldn't play him again the rest of the season. There's no games that are not important anymore. Like, every game matters in the Premier League. Every game matters in the League Cup. Every game matters in the Europa League. I mean, where do you send him out and say, yeah, you know what? Show us what you got. You did. You have. You've shown us. And it's not good enough. It's not good enough. So let me get back into your comments a little bit here. Let's see. Eunice said, Doherty over Aurier. What was he thinking? I don't know. I wonder if there's some sort of like beef between Aurier and Jose. I don't know why that was the pick. I really do not. And maybe it was a trust thing. Maybe Jose was trying to give him some trust and say, hey, here's a bigger game. See what you can do. Yikes. He got beat down that side just too many times. James, who would you replace Jose with? That is a good question. And I mean, that's what's so tough right now is like to fire a manager mid-season just seems foolish. I wouldn't get rid of him right now. We're in a final. Let him at least play the final. I have a very little hope for that final. Europa League, I don't know. We seem to show up in the Europa League. So yeah, we'll see. Eunice Doherty is an Arsenal fan over Aurier, who's physical and knows how to play a derby. Yeah, well, and that's the other thing. I saw some tweets about, remember when Doherty had all those Arsenal tweets and yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It would be really, I don't know, so unprofessional if that had anything to do with it. We can talk about managers a little bit later. Let's see. Eunice also said, please send Doherty back to Wolves. This man cannot play football for his life. Utter garbage. I mean, he's definitely not playing well. So let's move up from that back four to the midfield. And I haven't... The last few games, Højbjerg has been disappointing. I don't know how you feel about Højbjerg's play, but I felt like he just hasn't been himself. I don't know if it's just the sheer volume of games. Maybe he's just played too many games, and he's losing his touch. He's losing his drive and his fire. But when I watched that first goal go in for Woolwich, I could see it happening. I was so frustrated. I watched him not... If you can find a replay of those goals, you can see he's running towards the ball. He is close enough to be able to do something about that ball, and he refuses to. He just stops. He lets the ball go by. And it, like I said, it was reminding me of Eric Dyer. When Eric Dyer was watching that ball go by. And I don't know if that's because he's afraid that it's going to, maybe he puts a foot out and he's afraid to deflect it towards goal. But you got to do something. You can't just let the ball go by because it's not us that's on the end of that ball. It's not directed towards us. It's for them. So to watch that ball go by, I would have given Højbjerg maybe like a 4 because of that. It just pissed me off so much. So I felt like he's been poor. And we don't have a replacement for him. I mean, we do. His name is Oliver Skipp, and he's not playing for us right now. He's on loan. So, gosh, it's just so maddening. And then Tanguy Ndombele, go back to these 11. Tanguy is just... There was something was off yesterday. He did not have the opportunity. We gave them the ball, and apparently, from what Alistair Gold was saying, that Jose and Sacramento were just yelling, press, 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 but nobody was doing it. I will give it to Mora. Mora is, I think his ability is more of a squad player ability. I know that he apparently is really great for the locker room, and he does show up every once in a while. He scores a hat trick in the Champions League and things like that. Like he's there. He's fully Spurs, and I think in his dedication to the team, he's fighting for his spot. I think he knows that. He's always running hard, but then he's always dribbling it until the 18. He dribbles from like what you're seeing right here till about here, and he falls over. And yeah, just disappointing. Gareth Bale was quiet, just quiet. How does that happen? I remember seeing people on Twitter and everywhere else going like, can you imagine Gareth Bale getting that goal and showing us that heart celebration, And it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close to seeing that. Harry Kane, we're going to read some of these Discord comments. And maybe that injury had something to do with it. But the thing is like in those last 15 minutes, he showed up. He just out of nowhere showed up. Well, where were you, Harry? And Eric Lamela, let's just say, I don't know if you saw the thumbnail for the video, but I've got the, Regulon face for the Rabona and the Regulon face for the red card. Just so, it doesn't make any sense why you would be so careless with your arms when you're on a yellow. And Rob was saying that really Lamela should have been taken off instead of Tanguy or Bale. But Lamela had been subbed on. So you can understand why, Jose wouldn't want to have taken him off after he was already a sub. So you're using a sub for a sub. That seems unwise. But yeah, you go down to 10 men. Harry Kane, when he took that free kick, I literally said as I was watching, I said, if he scores this free kick, I will absolve him from every free kick he has ever taken previous to this. And he hit the post. And if that had gone in, it would have. I think it would feel like we stole the game or stole a point because we did not deserve a point. From that performance. Absolutely terrible. So let me read some of your comments and also get to some of these Discord comments as well. And then I'm going to jump into the LT3 call on the Discord. So if you want to chat with me, you can head over there and jump into that chat. I'll be there in just a minute. So here's what we'd say. Ravager said, I'd rather have Foyth as our backup right back. At this point, I'm totally with you. And a center back. I know he's not even great at center back, but at this point, anybody would be kind of nice. Eunice says, I don't know what's happening with Pierre. He's been on a downfall ever since the Liverpool game. I'm in agreement with that. Foyth has been good under Emery at Villarreal. Yes, there was a I can't remember who wrote it, but a Football.London article that talked about how he's doing pretty well over there. And that's good to go. James, if you want to hop into the voice chat, I'll be over there in just a second. And Eunice, again, we need footballers that are proven. That is, I think that's the issue. Well, let me read to you what Regina said on the Discord server. She said, with all due respect to Doherty, I hope he gets sold. This move just isn't working out. It would be another story if he was, maybe a foreign player still adapting to the Premier League and reasonably young, but he's been in the Premier League and he's in his late 20s. I think Daniel Levy should cut his losses on this one. Yeah. I don't know who would take him even for whatever we got him for. What was it? 12 million or whatever. Regina also said, but why did Mourinho not play Aurier? Like, I understand that he played midweek, but he was much better suited to this game. He's more physical to get up and down that right flank, better to track back. Doherty wasn't necessarily impeccable last week, as Moose said, even though he played well. And I wonder, Regina, if in part it's because Aurier will just lose his mind at some point, and with a much a high intensity game, emotional game, he's worried that Serge is going to give up a penalty. Well, don't worry, have no fear. Just because Aurier isn't here, Davinson Sanchez is here. Techno said this. I thought we bought Doherty because I think Jose was going to play a 3-2-4-1. Davies pushing in to make a third center back and Doherty pushing up. But after the Everton game, he knew that was going to flip up our season. And that is the same reason why Doherty came in and played a similar role at Wolves. I can see him getting sold this summer. I think his game shows. I think this game shows that we can't get back to the top four this season. Techno, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think that this season is just so weird and so wide open. Teams are playing well that don't usually play well. Liverpool is dropping like a stone. I'm not particularly convinced that we can't make the top 4. But if we continue to poop the bed against the big teams, I think we only have Manchester United and Leicester City on the final game of the season. So I got to look at those fixtures, but hopefully we show up. Regina, good to see you. I just mentioned your thoughts on the game. Last, let me just get to Mystic Gent, and then I'm going to hop into the server, and you can join me and James as we talk about this together. Would love to have some more voices in here. He said, that was the worst Spurs performance I have ever seen. Kane was non-existent for 90% of the game. He was not tracking back and running about recently, and that knock on his knee on Thursday looked like it really affected him. Jose should have had the balls to rest him and play Carlos. Kane needs a break. Isn't that the whole point of Carlos being brought in? Yeah, I think that was the whole point of Carlos Vinicius being brought in. I think, though, that from what we've seen so far, Carlos Vinicius has what it takes to dictate a game, League Cup, FA Cup, Europa League, but maybe not ready for the Premier League. At least Jose doesn't think he is. And we're too late into the season to test him, I feel like. So I can understand why you threw in Harry Kane. If it was the injury that was keeping him from playing, full bore, that's something that Harry Kane needs to be honest about. I don't know if that's Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho trusts Harry Kane to be honest about his body. And if you're not going to be making your runs, your track backs, there was a point where it was just after Sonny got injured. Harry Kane received the ball deep, and he looked up, and I swear he was looking for Heung-min Son and then saw there's no Sonny. And so he played a short little pass. And I think that was just a picture of that game. It was like no one was making the runs that they would expect because Sonny was gone. Lamela is not the same kind of player. Lamela and Lucas are kind of a similar player to me. They both kind of do the same dribbles and stuff. But anyway, let's I'm gonna just take a 30-second break, hop into this Discord chat. I would love for you to join us. I'm gonna be talking with James for a second here, and would love to get your thoughts as well. So we'll see you in just a second. All right, we're back, and I'm here with James. James, how you feeling?
All right.
Hanging in?
Yeah. The game was pretty good.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I was actually busy doing something, and then I was scrambling myself to get the TV on.
Yeah.
And as soon as I turned the TV on, the manager scored.
Oh, that's like the perfect time to jump into the game. So you didn't have to suffer with us for the first 30 minutes.
The goal was really good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And the last time he did that was a couple of years ago in the Europa League.
Yes. Yep.
I can't remember who the opponent was.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But yeah, I remember thinking of the audacity. And he got height on the ball on that one too. It was like insane. Absolutely crazy.
The first goal we concede,
Mm-hmm.
you should have done best on defense.
Yes. Yep.
And it hurt us that we had Son off within the first half.
Yeah.
It hurt us in terms of our attacking power.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like it was a. Not only did you lose, Kane's, favorite guy to be passing the ball to, and likewise, but I felt like we already weren't playing very well. But then you lose a guy like that to injury, and I felt like, I don't know if it was the confidence or whatever, we just dropped off even further. And there was it was almost like there was no coming back. I had hoped maybe at halftime, maybe Jose would give some sort of rousing speech and get the guys going again, but it didn't seem to happen.
I'm probably the only one who's going to say this.
All right, let's hear it.
I don't think Sanchez's penalty was actually a penalty.
Okay, tell me why.
Because even though the commentator, depending on what channel you were watching the game on, in the UK it's Sky Sports.
Yep.
The commentators for Sky Sports said that the challenge which Sanchez made was a really good challenge.
Really?
Yes.
So he thought it was a good challenge.
Yes. But it was the follow through which hindered which made the penalty happen.
Yep.
And that's why he got slated for it. Not for the challenge, it's because of the penalty.
Yeah, it was the follow through. Yeah. So okay. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know the specific laws of the game, but that it certainly felt like the penalty did. I wouldn't say it was like soft because he just clobbered him.
Yeah.
But the shot had already been made. He just swung and missed. Yeah. It just totally biffed it. And so if he made the challenge and got the ball at the same time, then that probably would have raised a lot of hands. Sure. Yeah.
But it was him making contact with the player
after,
which made it become a penalty.
Yep. Totally. Yeah, and we got some comments here in the comment section. Zero, the hero, says Sanchez went straight and the striker kicked into him, so it's arguable if it was a penalty. He did kick into him, but I think, there was still a lot of contact on the body. The other part of that too, that it goes back to this. It's kind of like the handball stuff, where there's just it seems like they basically got 2 tries at goal. He got the first one, which he totally biffed, but then because Sanchez knocks into him, he gets a penalty. It's like, oh my gosh, that just seems like a way better opportunity to score than what was taken from him. Nothing got taken from him. He missed his opportunity to score. At that point, if there's a foul, so it's interesting that you say that, because in the States, they were trying to get Sanchez off in the commentary. Yes, they were saying that he denied a clear goal-scoring opportunity. Now, and this was after the replay. So this was after they had already seen that he had missed the shot. And I can't remember the name of the commentator for the life of me right now. Yeah. But I was so frustrated. Like, how can you say that? He missed the shot. You could say that he was denying him an opportunity to get after the ball. But, I don't know. It just seems... it's so frustrating. Now, did anybody, so Lamela, yes, he scores this amazing goal, but then he gets sent off at the end of the game.
Yeah, it was almost like it was all in vain.
Yes. Yep. And I felt like, Lamela, had he not gotten sent off, he might have been... Even though we lost, he might have had an opportunity to go down in like Spurs history. Like you get a rabona, we lose. It's like it's still an amazing goal, but to get sent off,
it definitely hurt us.
Yes,
a lot more than when Son was taken off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
And we possibly now have to play. We even might have to bring Stephen Bergwijn back as well.
Oh, totally. And I would say that Stephen Bergwijn offers little to nothing in terms of scoring goals, right? Like he's just missed so many times, and I understand. And I'm a Bergwijn fan, so it's hard for me to say that because I think he's struggling. It's his first season, or not first full season.
I think he's struggling on confidence.
Yes,
totally. In the box.
Yep.
But if you don't look at his work rate outside of scoring, then it's probably just par with Lamela.
It's on par with Lamela. Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I keep getting interrupted. By a call.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So I don't mind.
That's hilarious. Well, yeah. So I mean, that's the thing is it's like, who do you put into replace a Lamela? They're all kind of the same tier. You've got Bergwijn, you've got Lamela, you've got Lucas Moura. They're not. They're good. They're good, but they're not great.
Maybe you could throw Bale into the mix as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, but see, that's the thing. I would expect Gareth Bale to be just a level above, and his class is amazing, and he has been playing so well. But then all of a sudden, it's just like he disappeared. And
I think that's also to do with Arsenal's tactics during the game.
Yeah,
the way they kept Bale quiet as well as Kane.
Yep,
and possibly Son and Lamela.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's definitely difficult. So here's my question for you. Would you sell let's look at Steven Bergwijn, Lucas Moura, and Eric Lamela. Who of those three would you sell? And I'll put this to the comments as well. Let me know what you think.
Okay. I would all three of them are all squad players.
Yeah.
And very good squad players. I would possibly put Bergwijn on loan.
Okay. All right.
To I don't know, possibly Germany. To get some first team football.
Sure.
And I would keep the other two.
You keep the other two. So you wouldn't sell any of them. You just put Steven Bergwijn on loan.
Yeah, because you can clearly see in the games that he's played so far this season, he's had brilliant plays. He's had very good matches. But the only thing that is hindering him as a player is scoring goals.
Yeah.
And he hasn't had many chances in front of goal either to shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Personally, I would agree with. I actually like the idea. I hadn't thought of that. Give Steven Bergwijn a loan, kind of like Ryan Sessegnon. Just like, hey, dude, get some first team minutes out there, get some more confidence, and then bring him back, see how he does, give him one more chance. Yeah. Personally, though, I would sell Eric Lamela. Because I would. So here's the thing. This is so funny that you say that because I was watching the game with Rob, and he scored that rabona, and I'm like, my mind is blown. I'm like, oh my gosh! And as they're restarting, right, like Arsenal's kicking it off again, I go, I'd still sell him this summer. So, here's why. Because I think you could get something for him. I think somebody would be willing to spend a little bit on him. Like they're not going to just get a pittance for him. I think they would get a little bit of something for him. And he's been here for a while. He's been injured, and I think if he was playing most of the season, if he was playing as often as Harry Kane plays, I would say keep him. But because he's injured, he's got the hip issue stuff. I think that's a little bit of a it's a little bit too much for me. I think Lucas Moura does a little bit more for the team as a whole than Eric Lamela does. So I would say, I like that. That almost like a game. It would be like sell, loan, and keep or something like that. So here's what some other people are saying.
All right.
Let's see here. Tierney was smashing it on the right side. That's so true. And that's why I think Doherty was struggling. Regina says, love Lamela, but he's been at the club for several years. Eunice says, sell Lamela and Lucas and keep Stevie or loan him because Stevie is still young. So people really like that. Regina says, Bergwijn on loan is a good shout. Well done.
Yeah.
And Eunice is saying maybe we could get like 13 to 15 million. I'm assuming that's for Lamela. But I think, we start to talk about transfers, especially this summer. The rumor seems to be that we're going to have a lot of outs if we're going to have any ins.
Yeah. I mean, that's you can clearly see.
Mm-hmm. Oh, someone's calling you again.
Yeah.
If you're turning down a call from your mother to talk to me, I just feel like I'm gonna feel terrible on the inside.
It's all my friends trying to get a hold of me.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, you can clearly see that we need outings this summer.
Yep.
And we are full in our Premier League and European squad.
Totally. And we have to bring back Skip and Sessegnon. That has to happen. So I can't imagine us there has to be some outs. I think, hearing from Regina about like selling Doherty a year on, it feels bad, but it's like he hasn't shown anything worthwhile. I think you have to get rid of one of those three. Like I said, either it's Bergwijn, Lamela, or Lucas.
Yeah.
And then in terms of
the one thing I'll actually say on Doherty, which actually counters what you were previously saying about him. You got to remember that this is actually his first season, and his mini preseason as well, because when he came to Spurs, he only just got done on his international holiday.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and he hasn't trained with the team properly, and I don't think he had any preseason either.
Yeah, well,
so he's basically in the same situation as Bale.
Yeah, well, okay. So I guess if you put it in that way, but I feel like Bale didn't play for Real Madrid. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this guy was playing regularly for Wolves, and he was playing at this level in this league. So yeah, I can understand the preseason thing. I get that because I think I've seen that in other players, but I don't think it's March. It's March.
Yeah.
Like by now you got to be ready to go. Hey, I really appreciate the call and for like having you come in and share. I'm going to do a little bit of Tottenham trivia to end the show.
Nice.
But so stick around if you can and say hi to your friend. Tell him sorry that you were talking about Spurs, which is obviously more important.
Yeah. Seriously.
All right, dude. Catch you later.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Oh man, you got to talk about Spurs when you get the opportunity. I mean, that's why I'm doing this. And we're going to do a little trivia. So if you didn't hear, if you're not on the Discord, you should totally get on our Discord server. It's a lot of fun. And I have not been nearly as active. And that's what I wanted to say is this is going to be the last live show for a little bit. I'm still going to be making videos regularly. Oh, I can see your comments. HGG. I can see you on here. Name 5. Oh, I'll get to your comments, but I just want to say really quickly. This is going to be the last weekly live show. I've got some with work and some stuff going on in my personal life. I'm not going to be able to do it weekly. I am going to try to do maybe once a month, do a live show, and I will still be making videos regularly. So probably a weekly video. And so I would love for you to get in those comments, but get in the Discord server. Be sharing what's going on. Some of you guys chat so much, and I love it. And I actually do a ton of reading just to see what you super smart people are saying, and I'm over here, just an American trying to figure some of this stuff out. But I feel like, man, I love this club, and it's so disappointing when they don't show up for. I mean, it's 3 points. It's 3 points against Arsenal as it is against Brighton. But these 3 points, if you can't show up for this game, how can we trust you to show up against Manchester City in the League Cup final? It just gets so frustrating. So let me answer this question from HGVHG, and then we're gonna do some trivia. It says, name me 5 players that we could get out. So 5 players that I think we could get out. I would say Lamela or Lucas. I would keep Stevie B because he's younger. I'm gonna say Lamela, Eric Lamela. I think you could sell. I don't think Foyth stays, so I think you sell Foyth. I think that Dele might push for a move, which would be disappointing. It would be really tough to sell him too because he's English. But I could see Dele. I'm going to say Sissoko. Sissoko could be ready for a good move. And then lastly, a possibility is Gazzaniga. Easily could get rid of these guys. I don't know how much you could get for him, but you could get those out. I'm seeing here from Eunice. He said Lamela, yes. Joe Hart, oh maybe, yeah. Sanchez, Doherty, and Lucas. Sanchez, it's so tough because some of these guys are young, and I want to give them some time. But it is definitely going to be difficult. So, all right, we're going to end with some trivia. And just so you guys know, even though I won't be doing live shows as often, which means there will be less trivia, I will be putting some of these trivia questions into my videos. So make sure you get in there, and I will let you know who got it right in the following video. So I want to do some of these questions that people got. We tried but never got it. So get into, let's see if I can get my countdown going. We can, sweet. So get into these comments. Hopefully you look these up because we've asked these questions before. And so I want you to see if you can name some of these players. Some of these are from the past. Some of these are 1-pointers. Some of them are 3-pointers. But let's go back to this question. Harry Kane has been our top goal scorer since the 2014-2015 season. Who was the last Spurs player to be the top goal scorer for Spurs before Harry Kane? All right? Who was the last top goal scorer before Harry Kane? I'll start the countdown. See if you can get it. I'll give you some time. Think of who could have scored more goals than Harry Kane before Harry Kane. Soldado is a good guess, but it's not. Defoe is a good guess, but it's not. Bobby. No, not Sheringham. Vincent Janssen, bro. I like it. That man was not scoring goals for us, though. Neither was Roberto Soldado. Okay, you ready for this? The answer. I'm giving you the answers today. A couple of them. No, it's not Jimmy Greaves. It was Emmanuel Adebayor, my friends. Adebayor. He scored 14 goals. That was it. That's all it took was 14 goals. Now we got Harry Kane in here. You need more than 14 goals if you want to be the top scorer at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. So, I mean, we have come a long way. I mean, think of it just... Yeah, you get extra points for the comedy, for real. Yes, for real. Yes, Emmanuel Adebayor was the 2013-2014 top scorer for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Okay, here's the other one. We missed this one back on December 14th. I asked this question. Name the last 5 managers of Tottenham, starting with the most recent. Name the last 5 managers of Tottenham, starting with the most recent. I'll give you 2 countdowns. So type them all in. You get 22 seconds instead of 11. The last 5 managers of Tottenham, starting with the most recent. Okay, that's the first 11 seconds. See if you can get it in there. Nope. Close, though. Okay, HG, you're close. Jose Poch, AVB. Yeah, so your guys are getting there. Oh, maybe we could do this as a collective effort. Sherwood is in there. Not VVD, no. I think I knew who you meant. AVB, yeah. So here's what I've got. I don't see Redknapp is in there too. Okay, we've got them all. So let me just name them out loud. Okay, it's Jose Mourinho, Mauricio Pochettino, Tim Sherwood, Andre Villas-Boas, and Harry Redknapp. Those are the 5. Those are the 5 in order. And again, so I started watching in the Villas-Boas era. So I was post Harry Redknapp. But there's a lot of time that has passed, and a lot of. I think we've changed as a club since I remember watching. They made that little short clip of Ted Lasso at Spurs. It was the last season with Gareth Bale and all that stuff. I think we are a much more, as much as you might not like Daniel Levy and he's frustrating, he is building something that will leave a legacy. And I hope he is just a custodian. I'm with you on that. I hope that he is a custodian that leaves something greater for the next, owner, and maybe, who knows, a boy can dream. Maybe this will be the year that Daniel Levy says to Joe Louis, like, hey, you got to put money in this. We're not going to take that next step of silverware without putting money into it. So who knows? Zero the Hero, you made a comment in here. Just wanted to say something about Lamela. He did go out firing on all cylinders last night. It seemed like one of the few that realized it was an important derby. The second yellow is forgivable. Okay, I will say that. I would say yes to that he does just go nuts. And that's why I put in the title, Chaotic Neutral. The man is not a chaotic evil, that's for sure. And he's not a chaotic good. Like that he's just doing something chaotic and wow, that was amazing. Like almost feel like sometimes Tanguy Ndombele is that way. Like you wouldn't expect for him to be making the movement that he does, and then all of a sudden he does it, and it's just absolutely outstanding. With Lamela, it's chaotic, but it's neutral. It's like, oh my gosh, a rabona goal. Oh my gosh, dude, you got a second yellow. I do think it is forgivable. Daniel Levy has his pros and cons. That is for darn sure. Okay, let's see. Now this one, maybe you know this now because you've seen him more often. But again, on December 14th, I asked what number is Dane Scarlett this season? So let me put that to you. What number is Dane Scarlett this season? Do you know the answer? Dane Scarlett's first appearance for Spurs. It's not 27. It's not 47. It's not 44. It's not 41. Oh, it's so difficult. Hey, there it is. 53. There's there's BD 33, and then there's Dane Scarlett 53. And yeah. So an exciting youth prospect. And from what it sounds like, Jose's not just doing some sort of hype train. This kid is actually, we're going to see this kid next season. I'm excited for that. I know we got to get through this season, and hopefully we have something to be excited about this season. But all right, back on January 4th. This is months ago now, 3 months ago. I asked the question, Jose is a grand officer in what Portuguese order of knighthood? What Portuguese order of knighthood is Jose Mourinho a part of? The man is a knight. And, we don't have that in the States. So I don't really know what that does for a person. But let me put that on there. Jose is a grand officer in what Portuguese order of knighthood? Let's see what we got. Regina, I got no clue. I beg your pardon. Terry Venables was manager when you started following Spurs. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. People, when you've been following for a long, long time, I mean, I didn't even know about Spurs until I just before I started following them. But yeah, it's just like, you know, I have sports teams, like they're in my blood. Like from birth, I knew that I was going to be a Detroit Red Wings fan, right? A Detroit Lions fan, Tigers fan, and it's miserable. It wasn't miserable for the Red Wings, but that kind of stuff is awesome. The knighthood of parking the train or the bus. No, this guy is part of the Order of Prince Henry. The Order of Prince Henry. And you know, we got a couple other people that got some Harry Kane, but also Hugo Lloris. And I think I'm going to keep that one because I'll use it in the future. Some of these you guys got. Let's see. This is one that we didn't get, and we need to talk about this. In what year did Spurs win the Audi Cup? How could we forget? In what year did Spurs win the Audi Cup? 2019. HG, where have you been? You got it. You got it first. I love it. Man, if you were there on those first couple ones, you would have really gotten it. Okay, let's take a couple other of these, and we'll jump to some harder ones, the ones that used to be 3 points. How about this one? Here's another question of numbers. Do you know your kit? How well do you know your kits? What number is Japhet Tanganga this season? What number is Japhet Tanganga this season? Do you know? Can you tell me? Who got it? 20. There it is. Another one. HG. 25. Wow. On the ball. Crazy. All right, and then let's do this. We'll move over to some 3-pointers. These are going to be tougher. But speaking of HG, who was the manager for Spurs when they lifted the FA Cup in 1991? Who was the manager for Spurs when they lifted the FA Cup in 1991? Who could tell me? Venables. That's correct. Zero the hero. It was Venables. And do you know the follow-up question, which is, in what year was he sacked? In what year was Venables sacked? No, not 99. 92 is correct. Which, you know, it just shows how quickly things can change. Going from 1991, you lift the FA Cup. 1992, you get the sack. How about this? That was from back on January 18th. We asked that question. How about this one from January 18th as well? What did Sun use the COVID-19 pandemic suspension to complete for South Korea? What did Sun Heung-min use the COVID pandemic suspension in 2019-2020 to complete in South Korea? Do you remember? Oh, you are definitely on the leaderboards at this point. Military training. That's right. His mandatory military service. And he finished his basic training in the top 5 of how many trainees? This is the bigger one. I think everyone kind of knows that one. That's like a 1-pointer. This is the third. He finished basic training in the top 5 of how many trainees? Let's see if you can get it. 2 trainees? He was in the top 5 of 2? No. That's a different country. 300, no. 22, no. No singing today. Sorry if you've already answered. Been away for the last 10 minutes. You know what? We could sing today. I could sing the song on the way out because it does feel a little bit like I feel that way still. So I'll sing the song as our way to do it. The answer is 157, which is pretty amazing. Sun Heung-min was in the top 5 of basic training out of 157 people. And, you know, there was a bunch of different stuff in there. It was not just like who could, you know, score some free kicks. Yes, I know I'm going to miss these Monday streams too, but they're still going to happen, just less often. Let's do one more. Let's find a good one. Let's see. Okay. Last one. And this is one, I feel like this is one every Spurs fan should know. Even if you're a young Spurs fan, an old Spurs fan, maybe you've just been starting to follow Spurs. Where did Tottenham play their home games before Northumberland Park? And I know I'm probably saying that like a true American. Where did Tottenham play their home games before Northumberland Park? Nope, it's not White Hart Lane. That was after. London, come on now. Nope. Wembley, no. Dunno. I'll give a countdown. On a football pitch, yes. All right, here it is. 3 seconds. Can anyone get it? Don't even know the name of our current stadium. I mean, technically, it's just the Tottenham. Yeah, that's a great Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's it. Or Tottenham Stadium. It's not even, doesn't even have a fun name. I just consider it White Hart Lane at this point because it's the same place. It's the Tottenham Marshes. The Tottenham Marshes. And they moved to Northumberland Park in 1885. I thought that was a kind of a good trivia fact, you know. In 1885, they moved to Northumberland Park. And then after that, they went to the infamous, and I know that it's not a bad place. It's a great place. It's a famous place, White Hart Lane. Okay, well, let's end with a song. Give me 1 second. I'll grab it. Mr. K, I hope you're still here, because I'm doing this just for you. This is a sad song, but it is it's taking the classic Spurs song, I Can't Smile Without You, and just redoing the lyrics a little bit. Here we go. You know I can't smile and watch you. I can't smile and watch you. I can't laugh and I can't sing. I'm finding it hard to do anything. See, I feel sad when you're bad. I feel bad when you're trash. If you only knew what we're going through, I just can't smile and watch you. The Derby came along just like a song and ruined my day. Who'd have believed watch you. There it is. Friends, man, I will miss doing this week after week as well. But we will do this again. I'll do probably more on like a once a month basis. I'll put the word out. You'll know when it's happening. But I'll continue making videos and get in on that trivia. I'll probably put some trivia in there and would love to see you guys on that. And please join our Discord if you haven't already. So fun. Thanks for the claps. Thanks for the request, Mr. K. Get on that Harris Army train. If you haven't watched any of his live streams, or Matt Hayes or Holly, there's amazing people to watch. So get in on their live streams. I'll keep making videos. But you know how it is here. As ever, it was great talking with you.